Hey guys, welcome to another reading session. Today we're going to read The Legacy of the Pyreans by Mikael and Lishera Pegast. Tilo is looking at me in the background, judging me as I read, over his shoulder. The most recent, very troubling news on all of Vin and now also in Enderal makes it easy to gather the all too long fragmentally available and tightly guarded knowledge about the Pyreans. This manuscript shall be the starting point for further research and archaeological projects for the Chronicles of the Holy Order and the Mages of Nero, which are supporting you on the search for insight and answers. The reign of the Pyreans ended as sudden as the trial they had left in history, and very little is known about their culture. The former global empire, which the Pyreans established before the First Age, was gigantic, an incredibly big territory, proven by the scattering of their remains. The ruins are spread all across Vin, yet they are specially bonded up on a continent more so than any other. Which continent? Oh, on Enderal. On Enderal exists the highest number of discovered ruins. It is said that the city of 1,000 Floods was located here, the biggest city ever built. There is no clear proof of its existence, and nobody knows if such a big city would have been real. However, it is certain that the different Pyrean subcultures originated from the main tribe, like on the continents of the present age. Magic crystals, of which there must have been a great abundance in the past, were the source of light, heat, and served as propulsion for the first machines. The energy-rich minerals allowed for complicated technical constructions with solid efficiency to be built, of which the functionality still poses an unsolvable mystery for master builders of this day. How it was possible to supply the valuable energy into the crystals without losing it midway, or if the crystals themselves were the hoard of power, it remains unclear. It is obvious that the Pyreans, in terms of magic, had a certain knowledge, with which they refined parts of their architecture. With the aid of the crystals they propelled the outer train, an invention with which the people could travel a tunnel system which is buried in the ground. Despite the prohibition of exploration of the ruins, which was declared in Enderal, Arezil and Quira, there are bold troves that shed light on their culture. Along them the legendary stones of the Pyrean, even though they were locked away from public eyes. Allegedly these writings contained ancient, thus far unrevealed secrets about the way the world could have looked before the First Age. The supreme authority of the Pyrean Empire was the highest being. It was not a man or a woman, but rather a child, chosen from their ranks. The Pyreans believed that the soul, which sustains and holds together the very universe itself, could be locked inside the child's body through a ritual. It resided there until the chosen one reached a specific age. If the latter happened, a new soul vessel was needed, and the old vessel was disposed of in a bloody sacrifice. The people followed the visions of the highest being blindly. From them originated the two rulings, priestly castes of Ishian and Dulgar. Since the Empire Pyrea was an aristocracy similar to Vin under the Lightborn, on top of these castes, 3 sun-priests are elevated, who were reading the visions of the highest being, interpreting and deciphering them. It was them who held the actual power over Pyrea, thanks to their knowledge about all that was happening and had yet to happen. A special role was played by an older high priestess, who seemed to be standing even above the sun priests for several years. Her true name was never mentioned in the writings. Instead, therein she was called Niri, which in the old language of the Pyreans means as much as mother. This woman is part of many records and statues. Undoubtedly she accomplished great things, even if it is unknown what it was that helped her achieve her fame. As family association of the two castes placed immense value on the purity of their blood. Nothing was more important than their own untarnished lineage. Some myths, like those of Yervis and Miriani, suggest officially recognized armors between family members. One cannot rule out the possibility quite the opposite, that incest was practiced to preserve this purity. There was never a real hostility between the two castes, yet they were highly ambitious and power-hungry, which peaked into millennial, lasting rivalry. Political intrigues and demonstrations of power were the result. The two different architectural styles of Pyrean ruins developed through the rivalry of the castes, who tried to surpass each other with more and more magnificent and elaborate temple complexes. There exist many theories about the puzzling disappearance and with that associated downfall of the Pyreans, one absurder than the rest. Researchers and historians have yet to get tired of developing new assumptions about the course of events to this phenomenon. However, a handful of explanations is more plausible and stand out of the masses of balderdash. One of the last mentioned theories says that the castes of the Ishian and Dilgar started a devastating war with each other and eventually perished because of it. It is still disputed which one of the two sides could have dug up the hatchet. For the mutual massacre and hate, they were hit by the punishment by the gods, and their people were doomed. Yet it was rumoured, mostly in shady places, that this theory was created in pretense to serve political purposes. The conspirators which are saying these things might have their reasons. However, of all the mentioned notions, this one seems the most plausible explanation for the disappearance. Other theories deal with the thought of that magic power of higher origin could have obliterated the Pyreans from the face of Vin. This could also be a possibility, but the existence of its supernatural power, capable of annihilating whole peoples and being still affected towards life itself, is not yet proven beyond a doubt. Therefore, this theory seems to be solely based on the intention to put fear and disturbance into the hearts of the people. Nothing more, nothing less. The last explanatory approach brings up a cold-blooded assassin as a reason, who murdered every member of both castes by the order of the secret organization to contain the power of the Pyreans and to possibly overthrow them. A brutal mass murderer to restore the balance appears more believable than a magical cataclysm. However, it is still just a speculation thus far as well. These kinds of explanations are numerous as grains of sand on the beach. All of them are less like historical truths, but rather like tales told to make people pleasantly shiver. It will probably forever be a mystery how this glorious culture found its sudden and devastating end, the myth of the forgotten folk.